Hey everyone, who's in the house? Sylvia, hi. Anyone else? Check in, say hello. Let me know you can hear me okay. And we will start. Hey Bella, nice to see you. How are we doing? Anyone else? Anyone new tonight? Anyone from any exotic, unusual places? Let's put that volume down. We can hear. Wow, quiet tonight. Good, thank you. I'm very well, thank you. Hey KK Booth, how are you doing? Welcome. Peace, empower. Right, I guess we'll make a start. Hi Kim. Remember the rules? You have to join in when we do the warm-up. It's not a spectator sport. Exotic Bedford. Evening, Simon. Matteo. Exotic Bedford. There were some lovely pictures of you doing your Kung Fu up in the mountains a few months ago, so now you're in Bedford. It's cold today. I'm going to have to warm up. I am cold. Hi, Lily. How are you doing? All right, so we're going to do a quick warm-up. Last week, we added the technique Da Chui. So we've done 4 hand techniques. Power pop, jet, cup, and then the 5th one last week, Da Chui. And then we added the hanging stance to the crane stance, balance exercise. So we have Hai Suzanne. So we have level stance, horse riding, bow and arrow, hanging, T stance, crane stance. We may add another one on tonight as well. So we're building up our kind of Kung Fu ABC, if you like, getting our alphabet of techniques. So in Kung Fu, you have hand techniques, hand forms, and stances, and then footwork, and then obviously leg techniques, kicking techniques. In terms of martial art, we have striking, kicking, wrestling, and seizing. Those are the 4 main techniques, and then added onto that, falling techniques, ground techniques, and then the weapons techniques, and the qigong, and the lion dance. It's a big subject. All right, I think I've yacked long enough. 3 minutes for everyone to get here. Let's start our warm-ups. No problem, Fu Jiao, we haven't started yet. Sent you a message on Patreon, Fu Jiao, as well. So. Okay. Salute. Right, we're gonna warm up, quick warm up, wrist and ankle rotations. Change feet. Arms forwards. Backwards. Neck rotation. Change. And then with your head up, down, left, right. Okay. Let's start with one arm forwards, one arm backwards. And reverse. And then circle in front of the body. And reverse. From here, elbows and then fists. Gradually increase the range of motion as you and up. And then have one hand up, one hand down, same thing. Increase the range. And then both hands up, elbows at shoulder height. 2 turns, switch. Increase the rotation in the upper spine. Hands on the waist, circles. Change. Feet together, circles at the knees. Change. Bend and straighten, keeping the feet flat. Okay, feet apart. Keeping the back straight, just fold forward from the hips. Hands behind, eyes follow the hand. Now from here, you're going to make large rotations of the body so the head goes all the way behind, all the way to the front. Lift up your chest as you go back. Reverse the direction. Turn to your right, lunging. Keep the back leg straight. Same on the other side. Foot straight, knee straight. Keep the knee out, keep the body back. Don't do this. Think of sinking down this direction. If you imagine you're holding 2 heavy dumbbells in your hands and they're pulling you down. As you breathe out, drop. Okay. From here, keep the feet the same length apart. Bring the hands down, if you can, to the toes. Put your head down towards the floor. Then to your left foot, so your right hand's on your left foot. The other side. Back to the middle. But from here, keep your left knee straight and drop your right hip down towards your heel. This is called crouching stance. Then we change sides by straightening the right leg, bending the left leg. My feet are flat on the floor, both my feet. If you're more flexible, try to reach your toes. Switch again. Switch again. Straighten up. Come up. Just put your hands behind your kidneys, stretch backwards. And walk the feet in, shake them out. Okay. Do a few squats and press ups to make sure we're fully warmed up before we do any kicking, okay? Squatting first. We'll do 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Okay, on the hands, make sure your body stays straight. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Come up, shake off. Okay, we're going to do some kicks. The first one is the straight swing that we did last time. We're going to start. Some questions coming through. From Egypt, thanks Mohammed, welcome. Okay. Feet together, arms to your side. Step with the left foot, which means you're kicking with the right foot, okay? Step, kick. Reverse, step with the right, kick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we can do the same footwork, the same idea, except this time you can imagine your foot is swinging diagonally towards the opposite ear, but we're not turning the hips. So this is stretching the hamstrings in a different direction. So same step, foot across this time, okay? Left step, right kick. 1, 2, alternating. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we'll do one more. This one's called Lotus Kick. So for this one, the foot is going to make a circle. It's going to come across, up, out, and down. So you're describing a circle from the inside to the out. So if you're kicking with your left leg, it's going to come around to the left, across to the right, up, over, and left. So the idea is to make a bigger circle. So we're stretching the hip. This is called outside lotus kick. If you want to, you can slap the foot at the top of the circle. That adds a bit of a hand-eye coordination. 1, 2, 3, 4. Big circle all the way around. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And down. Okay. Everyone should be warmed up. A little bit of a sweat, not too tired. Enough to carry on practicing. I'm going to give you a minute. Any questions on the previous lesson? So I'll make sure we cover them because I'm going to review last week's. Do what you can, Joe. Do what you can fit. Questions on what we did up to last week, because I'm going to do a review next. Okay, so hand techniques 1 to 5. Pow, pok, jet, cup. Last week, cheap. Oh no, dat, sorry, dat. This week, cheap, dat. Last week, dat. No questions coming through, so I'm going to start. We're going to do the turning horse first. Make sure we've got that hip turn, keeping the eyes forward. And we want to rotate the thoracic spine. That's why we made sure we warm that area up, because you want to make sure you're not just turning here, you're rotating, completely rotating. So in fighting, you're moving out the way and make sure you're getting the maximum reach and power. Okay, yeah, thanks, Mohammed. That, yeah, I'll review that. Okay, let's go together then. So we have 5 techniques. First, we'll do the turning horse, and then we'll do the hand techniques. Okay, just have the hands to the waist. Turn to your left first. 1, 2, 3. And use some strength in your knee. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now make sure you're keeping your eyes on one spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Arms open out like this. See how I'm rotating my thumbs backwards. Opening the chest, lifting the head. First hand technique, 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬 𝐿. So hitting with your left hand first. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure you're looking under your arm. This is not correct. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pocket, crane's wings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straight punch. 1, punching down the middle. 2, 5 punches at the same spot. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Overhand, cut joint, hand comes back. 1, rip it down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this hand is going to block, the other hand's going to hit. 1, this is that joint. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Middle, close. How are we doing? I'm going to turn my heating off, be right back. Give you a minute to type some questions if you have any questions. Anything? So those are your 5 techniques. Firm orientation of rear fist in crane's wing. That is a very precisely worded question. That's awesome because it's easy to answer. The hands are symmetrical. Directly behind, with the palms facing down and the wrists slightly up. Not way back. Here. Not in front where I'm looking that side. I'm looking under my arm. So that's the orientation. See how the back hand just mirrors it. Other questions? Okay. We're going to do one now called cheap. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧. Now, when we did 𝐷𝐷, we're defending the upper gate. So somebody's coming here, you're defending the upper gate. Now we're defending the lower gate. So somebody's coming down here. Okay, so similar to what we did with the first hand technique. Defend, attack, defend, attack. This is something you go, defend, punch, defend, punch. Okay, 𝐶𝐿. 𝐶𝐿 means cutting across. 𝐶𝐿. With a knife. 𝐶𝐿. So it's that kind of cutting punch, cutting across the bridge. Okay, somebody's coming underneath. Boom. Now notice my other hand comes up, so I'm not punching from back here for this exercise. The elbow bends first, kind of like you're drawing back, punch. As this chops down, this comes into position, see? Down, position. So, in fighting, block, boom, hit, block, boom, hit, block, boom, hit. See it? One. My power is with the punch, not with the block. You don't need power for the block. Down. This is the forearm. Cutting bridge, cutting punch. Seeds are the most important. Help around the footwork. Here's how I feel about the system is focusing on the seeds. No, you're exactly right, Mohammed, exactly right. This 𝐏𝐻𝐿 have, in our system, right, I know different styles have different emphases. In our system, we have 14 seed punches. And those are the first thing that I teach. Because then you're learning all the different directions and all the different strikes. Of course, to make them work, you need footwork. You can't stand in front of someone swinging your arms about. They'll just punch down the middle and they'll beat you. So one of the principles is, when the opponent is attacking linearly, you can evade and counter circularly. When the opponent is attacking circularly, you can defend and attack linearly, okay? So it's yin and yang. Circle inside straight, straight inside circle. All right, let's do 𝐶𝐿 together, all right? Hopefully you've got that idea. You practice this. Forearm, ulnar side. Other hand, palm towards your ear. Punch. This punch does not have a rotation. The 𝐶𝐿 that we did in the first case has a rotation. This one doesn't. This is like cutting with a saw. If you're sawing, you don't rotate like a screwdriver, right? So this is a screwdriver. The one we're doing now is like a saw. Okay, so no rotation for this one. We'll go slowly. One hand comes down, the other hand rotates, so your palm is towards your ear, turning. The power comes from the drive of the legs. The other hand is extended. Okay? As this hand drops, bend the elbow of the punching hand. Boom. Do not bend the elbow of the blocking hand because you won't cover. You go down here, you punch. You go down here, you punch. You go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that one's, for most people, a little trickier because of the coordination that one hand's punching straight and one hand's swinging. So most people end up either swinging the punch or not swinging the block. So it's a bit like that. Questions? So you can see this like kickboxing. Someone's coming in with a front kick, parrying it, boom, cut, and coming back with a straight punch. It's got that kind of feeling about it. Other uses as well, but that's a typical one. No questions? In that case, we're going to go through our stances. And we're going to add the crouching step, which we did in the warm-up. Remember where you're squatting your backside down with one leg straight and one leg bent, which is called the crouching stance. Well, now we're going to add it into the sequence. So what we're going to do, okay, is let's just practice one movement first and then we'll put it together, okay? Pick your knee up high. This foot's pulled in tight, so no. Yes. This is higher than your waist. No. Yes. Now you're going to stretch this leg out and bend your standing leg like this. If you can sit all the way down. See how my hands are on my waist and keeping my chest open. We're going to go the other way, so bring this leg in a bit to make it easier to start with. Bring your knee up nice and high, and higher than your waist. So I'm going to stretch this leg out straight, and I'm going to bend my other leg. And then to make it easier to start with, we'll bring this leg back in. Later we won't do that, but just to make it easier to start with. So, up. Notice my head does not do this. Look, don't bring my head in this range. This is danger range. My head stays back, my leg comes out. Okay? Other side, remember, head stays back, leg goes out. Okay, next we can do it without the extra step, but I just want you to get the idea of the crouch. So, adding onto the sequence that we learned, we're going from the hanging stance to the T stance to the crane stance, and keeping the head back, slide the leg to crouch stance. And we're going to do that once on one side, once on the other side. Questions before we start? Giving you a moment to type any questions. So this is seven stances we've done so far. Make sense? Good. Do you guys find it easy to drop down, or do you find maybe your heels come off the floor, or do you find not too challenging? If you find it quite tight, you need to do that stretching exercise more. What if you can't crouch that low? Yeah, not necessary. You can just do as high as you need to. You can do it as a higher. We can call it a back bow stance. When you're not crouching and your weight's back, it's called a back bow and arrow. So the back leg is bent, that's the bow. The front leg is straight, that's the arrow. Normally we have a front bow and arrow. So this stance without crouching is called a back bow and arrow. And in combat, that's usually how we use it. We're only dropping all the way down for a specific technique, like ducking underneath, or for a takedown or a trip, or as a mobility exercise. Do you mind in the end of the class give some points of chain stepping footwork? Okay, I'm going to cover that, Mohammed. I'm going to cover that. I'm going to cover that after we've done the stances. And then that will be my next topic, will be the footwork. So don't worry, that's coming. Okay, so again, we're going to go, if you can't do the crouch stance, just do a back bow stance. Everyone together now. All right, you're going to go to your left, so I'm going to mirror you to your left. Feet together. Parallel stance, 1. Horse riding stance, 2. Stay here for a few breaths. Bow and arrow stance, 3. This is front bow stance. Hanging stance, 4. T stance, 5. Crane stance, 6. Make sure your knee is higher than your waist. And the new one, crouch stance, 7. Or you can do back bow stance, which is like that. Come back to your first position. We're going to do the same sequence going the other way. Horse riding stance. When you're in a horse riding stance, look from the side please, you do not do this like a squat. You keep this tucked in, keep your back straight. Try to keep on the same height when you turn to bow and arrow stance, so don't come up. When you come to your hanging stance, don't lift the back foot, the back heel off the floor. Keep the foot gripping the floor. Just come back. That might take some practice. Again, without changing level, just bring the foot in. Now come up nice and high. Bring your knee up, higher than your waist. New one. Slide your right leg out and crouch or back bow stance. Transfer your weight across to your right foot, bringing your left foot up. Breathe in, breathe out. Shake out. How are the legs, guys? Suzanne, is the weight on both feet when down? In the crouch stance, it's going to be mostly on the leg that's under you. The other leg's stretched out, so it doesn't have much burn. Did you say leg bum? So, yeah, leg burn. So the Chinese martial art is kind of strange because it starts off by saying, right, you have to be able to organize your posture, your structure. Something like yoga. Everything has to be balanced, so the structure is correct. Then when you start generating forces and so on, it can propagate through the structure. But it's also teaching you awareness, body awareness, and then relax and sink. The more you can release tension, Simon, the longer you can stand without pain. It's not to do with strong legs. I had some MMA guys come in and go, yeah, we'll try that, and then like trying super hard and tensing up, and then they burn out in a couple of minutes, and then you get some sort of 14-year-old schoolgirl who's just sort of standing there going, what? Because the main thing is not to make a battle of it, it's to think of releasing the tension and opening. There's better ways for leg strength. If you're talking about pure strength, things like squats with weights are going to be better, or body weight, things like one-legged squats, something going to be better in terms of strength. But what we're doing here is learning, again, structural integrity, alignment, release of tension, and a basic level of strength, of course. If you can't stand, then you're not going to be able to do anything else. Once you've got that, then we start looking at footwork and putting it into motion. And then we start with single techniques, which is what we're doing now, sansek, single techniques, and then we put them into combinations, jolhap. That's what you need for fighting, because no one stands there while you do one move. Everything has to be set up, combinations, and so on. And then, beyond that, we put them into sequences for practice, which are also like mnemonics, which are encoding the various strategies and techniques of the style gets encoded into the sets. But of course, for combat, you can't fight with sets because they're set by definition. So it's like a textbook. Okay, cool. So hopefully everyone's cool with that. We've covered 5 hand techniques, and then six hands and 7 steps. So that's good to be practicing. Don't forget your warm-ups and your leg swings and your arm swings, because without that elastic, what they call dynamic flexibility, you will never understand your Kung Fu. You will never get there. Your Kung Fu has to be elastic. So you need to do these stretching really every day. Leg swings, arm swings, so the body becomes pliable. If it's stiff, doesn't work. Kind of Kung Fu power is not like lifting dead weights. Okay, it's an elastic stretching power. So you need that kind of dynamic flexibility. So dynamic flexibility, you need to exceed the range that you're using by a little bit. So if you're like a hurdler and you need to get your foot over the bar, which is that high, you need to stretch till you can get your foot this high, so that it can go over the bar without resistance. Otherwise the brakes are on, you'll slow down. So that's how Kung Fu works, okay? There's some good articles about it if you want to go down the Google rabbit hole of dynamic mobility, dynamic flexibility. All right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow is the waffle. I'm going to be talking a little bit about some Tai Chi history. And any other questions you want me to cover, just drop me a message. Happy to do that. Remember, tomorrow is not a lesson, just a chat. As usual, I'm going to ask if anyone wants to support these waffles and nuggets on Patreon. Thank you for all of you who are supporting me. It's massively appreciated. Anyone would like to help these nuggets and waffles going, because obviously this school is not running. There are no classes. So anything, you know, my income is purely from online teaching. So one more thing, if you want to join my online academy, which is a much more intensive, much more detailed course where we go step by step by step, and I correct you by video, and it's a much more interactive experience. That course is starting in January, and if you put your name down on the waiting list on the website, on the 𝐂𝐴𝐴𝐵𝐿𝐿, all the links are on this page. If you put your name down, you will be on the email list, and all the details, prices, start date, everything, I will send all of the information, okay? So, otherwise, especially if you're having financial worries due to COVID and everything, totally understand, don't worry about it. Just enjoy the free nuggets, and you have, you know, plenty of those free material to be getting on with, and enjoy your training. So thank you, everybody, and see you next time. Thanks. Appreciate it.